Hi, my name is Miles.
And my name is Cameron.
And my name is Aiden.
And we're here to show you
the consequences of global warming
and how we can slow them down.
And we think that global warming is the #1 topic to discuss at the 2016 presidential campaign.
The Meteorological Organization is showing global temperatures about 0.98 degrees Celsius above normal. It is the warmest October on the historical record.
Well, so one of the biggest things about global warming that scares me is that the poorest people in the world are going to be affected the most. When sea levels rise, people who live on some of the islands in the South Pacific those islands will no longer exist. There are millions, hundreds of millions of people who live along the coastlines in India and China who are very poor, who cannot afford to relocate. And many people will die. And it's going to be a really big hardship on a lot of people. So that's what scares me the most. Will humans survive? Yeah, we'll survive. We'll figure out ways to do things, but I think what people don't realize sometimes is not that global warming is the end of the world. I mean, it's possible. There's a lot of things that could end the world. But it's more that it will affect everyone in a dramatic way. It'll make it a lot harder to produce food in a lot of places.
Even President Obama agrees.
And the best scientists in the world are all telling us that our activities are changing the climate. And if we don't act forcefully, we'll continue to see rising oceans, longer, hotter heat waves, dangerous droughts and floods.
And so I think we have to be practical in what we can do. Obviously, renewable energy, wind energy, solar energy. I think that we're going to have to be a lot more ingenious. Yes, we will need to do our best to conserve. I think that's really important.
Now, while we must take action to reduce the carbon pollution that causes global warming, impacts from climate change are already here and more are on the way.
In fact, Greenland loses 300 billion tons of ice yearly due to our greenhouse gas emissions.
Another consequence of global warming is sea level rise.
Consider the nations that will disappear, like the Maldives, or the 55 million Bangladeshis that are alleged to be displaced as the waters rise. And the impact just in Virginia and Norfolk, as we see, I think it's a 14-inch sea level rise in the last 20 years.
If sea levels rose just 1 meter in Bangladesh, more than 10% of the country would be underwater.
Many animals are also affected by global warming.
Without ice, polar bears have very low to no access to their prey like seals and fish.
It will affect everyone in a dramatic way.
Remember, global warming is a serious matter. We need to act now.
Or else we won't have a planet left to love.
There'll be droughts in a lot of places. Being able to fish certain fish will be difficult. So those are the sort of things that concern me.
Due to rising sea levels, miles of coastlines on many countries could soon be submerged. Poor people on these coastlines cannot afford to relocate and will be left without a home.
Predictions out to the year 2100 of a 39-inch sea level rise, and there was concerns about planning and zoning purposes of where people could build down the road and in the future.
By 2100, some parts of the Persian Gulf could be 165 degrees Fahrenheit or higher if our carbon emissions don't slow.
This temperature is uninhabitable and would affect millions if we don't do anything to stop it.
37% of Americans believe that global warming is a hoax, and 64% don't believe that climate change will seriously affect their way of life. Between 2000 and 2100, global warming-related deaths will rise by 150,000.
Well, first, it's predicted, for example, in Norfolk, Virginia, the U.S.'s largest naval base, that the sea level rise will be about 1 foot between now and 2050. And it's predicted by the National Climate Assessment that the sea level rise in the U.S. could be up to 4 feet by the end of the century.
And that's why we think global warming is the #1 topic to discuss during the 2016 presidential election.
for watching.